the English communication skills, and it's BEGA 182. So we will tell you some answer and questions to it. Just listen. At least how many persons do you need for communication to take place? At least 2 persons we need for communication to happen. Can 2 people communicate if they do not share the same language? Yes, 2 persons can communicate if they do not share the same language. If your answer to question is yes, then explain how they will communicate. If the 2 persons do not share the same language, they can communicate through gestures. A saint sitting with his eyes closed says he's communicating with God. Do you think it is an example of communication? Give reasons for your answer. No, it is not a communication because the communication needs at least 2 persons. God is not a person that one can communicate with. A person was lost in his thoughts with his eyes closed. When asked, he said that he was commenting himself. Would you term it as communication discussed with others in your study center? No, it is not as communication. Communication needs at least 2 persons. Can you write a paragraph explaining the process of communication? Communication starts with the sender, who is the initiator of the message. After generating an idea, the sender encodes it in a way that can be comprehended by the receiver. Encoding is the process by which the sender translates thoughts into a series of verbal and non-verbal actions that he will communicate the message to the intended receiver. For example, translating the thought into any language, they transmit it over a channel through which the message travels to the receiver. A channel connects the sender to the receiver. Channels for communications may include a memorandum, a computer, or a telephone, or telegram, or a television. The choice of a channel depends on the communication situation. For example, when dealing with confidential information, direct face-to-face interaction or a sealed letter are more effective channels than a telephone conversation. The receivers are the persons to whom the message is transmitted. In order to decode the message, the receiver has to be ready to receive the message. That is, the receiver should not be preoccupied with other thoughts that might cause him to pay insufficient attention to the message. Decoding refers to the process of translation of symbols encoded by the sender into ideas that can be understood. Communication can be considered effective only when both the sender and the receiver attach similar meanings to the symbols that are composed to the message. For example, a message in technical jargon requires the recipient to understand such terms. Communication not complete unless it is understood by both the sender and the receiver. Can you think of some of the functions of language? One can be to inform someone or to warn them. Think of some more functions